Hi guys, my name is Dr. Matho Machikani. In 2008, I opened a GP practice in Khaltsha. That's when I started. And I worked in Khaltsha for about 6 to 8 years. And then later in 2013, I decided to create a brand called Clinimed. And Clinimed, currently we have 3 branches. We have Clinimed in Khaltsha, Clinimed Mandalay, and Clinimed Parklands. So Clinimed is a brand that represents medical services, primary healthcare. Our main target is our black people from the grassroots where we grew up. We want to offer them private healthcare in township with dignity and with compassion and caring. Well, okay, how do I manage to run my 3 practices being the main person? Basically, the most important thing that I could say is that one has to have a structure that you can replicate on other services. You first have to master your first one, then the second one and the third one will follow. That's how I work. That is the motto that I work. So if you don't have a system and a structure that you're using, it's very difficult to have things that you can move on and replicate and all that. So that is where it is. Other than that, I've got quite other working doctors that I work with. I'm not the only one. I work with other doctors in my other practices, so it makes it easier for me to be able to expand the business and be able to look for other opportunities out there. The main challenges that I've faced along the way, firstly, let me say I wasn't born in Cape Town. I'm not a Cape Townian, but when I came to Cape Town, I decided, number one, I'm gonna learn the language. And even though I'm still getting there in terms of writing it, but I wanted to be able to connect with the people that I service. I didn't want to be just a person that sits there and speak English and don't understand what my patients were going through. So my first point of challenge was to turn the language barrier thing into something that works for me. That is where I started. And honestly speaking, I learned from my patients. I had to ask them questions. I had to ask during the consultation. I'll ask the patient, if I want to say this in Xhosa, how do I say it? I don't remember in any of my consultations sitting with an interpreter to help me interpret what the patients were saying. That is just one of the challenges, but I've managed to overcome that because I never let it become a stumbling block to what I wanted to do. Being in a different setup where you are not born, it's a challenge on its own. You have to know how to balance out things, what information to tell people, how to structure yourself, how to actually position yourself as a business. And also marketing is still one of those huge challenges. Funding, yes, when you need to expand and you need to get more machinery, equipment for the business, you face all those challenges. But one thing that I can say is that one has to learn to do things step by step, to have a clear plan. Because if I have a plan of where I'm going, even if the next door neighbor puts up a double story, I stick to my plan, Baba. This is where I'm going, and this is change is good. Change is good, but have the structure first. Then you are able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Because remember, if you have a plan, the final product. That is the interesting part. Okay. There isn't much of a difference. The difference comes in when we're talking remunerations, and because if you're working for the government, you are an employee for the government. So if you are a doctor and you're working for yourself and you have your own company or you have your own practice, you are the boss of the company or of the entity that you are building. So that's where the difference comes. So which means when people come in here or when people visit your practice, you will offer them a medical service, and in so doing you will get remunerated for that. So in 2013, after I've been in Khaltsha for a few years, I thought, you know what, I needed to do something that is interesting. Then I came across the subject of aesthetics. Aesthetics is basically non-surgical procedures that we do to attenuate people's beauty concerns. What I mean by that is that contrary in the past, we would do people if they wanted to do, you've got a big nose, you don't like it, then you have to go for theater, you get a plastic surgeon, then they make your nose smaller. You've got small cheeks, you want big cheeks, you needed to go under the knife. So basically aesthetics involves that, but that is not the only thing that we do. In aesthetics, we also do treatment of pimples, treatment of pigmentation, medical skin lightening. We also do Botox, which is a very interesting concept for people that don't know what Botox is and what it does. Botox is basically, when you grow up, your face, it's nice and smooth. It does not have lines. When we, especially with us black people, you hit your 40s there, ladies and gentlemen, you start having lines on the face. You realize, your face doesn't look the same. Yes, it's part of aging, and not everybody wants to look like an old man or an old woman. And what you see on TV, people work on themselves all the time to look good. And it's not only about the makeup that they put on. So aesthetic is about all that. We bring out we want to keep you young and beautiful. And you must remember, your face is the first thing that people connect with. So it's such a good venture, because it boosts your confidence, especially women, and guys as well, that are in those platforms where they need to look good and be presentable. The words of wisdom for women who are in business, I would say, number one, they need to believe in themselves, believe in the product that they're selling, and I think I myself have looked up to people and have listened to what people say. If you listen very carefully, the messages are the same. Believe in yourself, work hard, and the question is, how do you make that a practicality and put it into action? And what I can say is that it's exactly that. There's no hidden agendas. People think you'll buy a certain book. Most of the things that people preach is that you need to put time into what you believe in. You need to work hard. You need to cut out so much of your social life to fit in your business life. You cannot run those two at the same pace at the same time. You'll have to sacrifice something, and you might not see the results immediately, but when your thing is out there, you'll understand what you've been working for. The best thing is believe in what you're doing, keep pushing. One no does not mean you can't do it. There will be no sayers out there, but you just have to push it and you will get what you want.
Do the right thing and like our page on Facebook, Khaltsha TV. Follow us on Instagram, Khaltsha TV, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Khaltsha TV. We see you. We see you.